Hello, my name is Ria, and I am a licensed life and health insurance agent here in Georgia. And the reason I am here is because I was very concerned when I first became an agent, and I found out that over 106 million Americans do not have life insurance. And I have a passion for seniors, I have a passion for people, period. And I said to myself, what could I do to help, make this something that is an issue of the past? And so, my last video, I talked about the reasons people did not have life insurance. And one of the reasons was some people think that it's too expensive. And so I showed how that's not the case. And I talked about those that were very superstitious about talking about death and didn't even want to have the conversation. So we talked about ways to get around that. And this is my last video. And so I should say that was in my last video. And we also talked about the senior citizens who sometimes seniors are told that they do not need life insurance. And I talked about how that was not true. And so today I would like to talk about how life insurance can benefit you. So get your pencil and pen out, or get your iPad notes together, and let's just take a little walk and see what we think about this. Tell me what you think about what I've come up with. So life insurance reassures you that your dependents, such as your children or your partner, will be financially looked out after in the event of your death. And there are several things to think about when buying it, such as the type of policy that you want, as well as when you need it and how to buy it. And so the reassurance is comforting, and the part that lets you know that protecting your family is the right thing to do. It guides you toward making firm decisions to reassure that this takes place. And I have made these notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. I apologize for reading to you, but it is very important that we get those things solid in our mind before we even think about going out to purchase. This is to protect your family. You do not want your family to wind up homeless or wind up, and I'm not trying to tell tragic stories. I'm telling of things that I've actually seen happen, or having to go and do the GoFundMe, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you're in the process of grieving and the process of being very confused from sudden deaths, or even someone who had a long-term illness and they passed away, the last thing you want to think about is fundraising. And so that's why, life insurance is something to already have in place that you don't even have to think about. It'll just be there when it's needed. Sometimes people feel overwhelmed when they even think about delving into the insurance world, and so they shy away and they procrastinate. But life insurance is not something that it's not a good idea to procrastinate about, because you can't put life off. Life does what life does. So different policies fulfill different needs. So once you know what your needs are for your family, then you can decide what insurance plan is best for you and your budget, of course. And there's always something to fit most budgets. And as far as when you need the insurance, the answer to this is that even if you can't afford to get the maximum amount of protection that you want for your family, the desire that you have, get something, because the way I look at it, something is better than nothing. Let's say you want to get a $100,000 policy, but today you don't have whatever the premium would be for that. Go ahead and get a $10,000 policy. Get something in place to keep your mind at ease so your family will be protected. Remember, that's the goal, to give your family the greatest gift that you can give them. It's kind of like the biggest purchase that you will never use, but you're giving it. It's all love. So, and the way in which to purchase it with an agent is find one that you trust, one that you feel comfortable talking about your finances with, one that you feel comfortable to know that you'll be able to call him or her whenever you need, you can call they whenever you need them in order to change the beneficiary. Say you want to get an additional policy or change it from term policy to whole policy. It's good to do it through an agent. So much better than in dealing with a bot or a robot or doing it online. Then you would have to probably call an 800 number and wait on hold. Hey, I've been there for 45 minutes, when that's the last thing you want to do, is to be on hold when you have those kinds of things on your mind that you're trying to do. So get with an agent. Here's something that's very important to know for all of you people who say, oh, I'm going to shop around for the best rate, I'll get back to you. That's, another form of procrastinating. But let me tell you something about that. All of us agents have access to the same carriers. Some of us have access to more carriers than others, but the point is, in the end, we all have the same information. So if you're trying to say, oh, I want to get a $500,000 policy and I only want to pay $20 per month, and you are, let's say, 75 years old. Well, I'm going to tell you the same thing as Mr. Joseph or Josephina is going to tell you. I'm going to look at the rates. I'm going to call the carrier. I'm going to get everything I need to do. And then I'm going to get right back to you with the same information. If we come back with different information, then that means that something is afoot. So it's very important to know. Basically, what you just need to do is to get with an agent that you trust, and you know that you feel comfortable talking about your personal health issues, your money situations, because I have a license, and so I had to go through a federal background check. I had to sign an oath. I have so many things that I've had to sign with the federal government in order to make sure I was I have the ethics and I have the confidentiality to work with you in a manner that won't expose or give out your information ever. So that's all I wanted to say today about buying life insurance and how it is important that you do it, and how it can benefit you, and so that you don't put it off and procrastinate, because this is not something that you want to procrastinate. And I don't need to tell scare stories about those types of situations. We all know that. And like I said in the beginning, it is the biggest purchase that you'll most likely never use. However, it won't be very costly if you put it according to your budget. And also, your family will forever thank you, forever. They have great thoughts of you, at the point when it is time for it to be used. All right, well, hit me up with your comments. Tell me what you think. And I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in my next video. This is Ria with Fearless Insurance.